Welcome back, engineers. Fulgora is finally stable, the recyclers are humming, the power is holding, the bots are mostly behaving, which of course means it's time for everything to fall apart again. Join me as we lock Fulgora into place, so it can run itself when we finally head for Glubba.
Alright, so last time I left off, I had just gotten Fulgora kind of started, waiting for it to stabilize. It has now done so. We have building some rocket silos, but other than that, everything's built. Used up my first mine, that turned off automatically the way I've got the circuit set. Basically, that's just when if there's nothing in the chest, then the station goes off, so that the trains stop going there. That, however, causes a problem when you've got two trains running, because one will just hang out at this station. So I gotta come up with a solve for that, so that once I leave here, that's no longer an issue. But I think the solve for that is going to be coming down here, finding another mine. Here's a 30K one down here. Alright, so I've got a 32K, or 32 million here, a 29 million here, and here's another 30 million over here. I'm thinking maybe we'll pick up this 30 million, stick it on the train network, and then that way if one of these two mines putters out, the orphaned train will just start going there, or whatever, right? Additionally, this way this is set up due to space limitations, it doesn't load quite as nicely as I'd like. So these boxes don't quite fill, and it can take a little longer for this train to fill up. But I think about deprioritizing this one slightly, so that the trains can take turns coming here. Give it a little more time to fill. But otherwise, the trains are on a pretty tight schedule. There's just two of them. There's always scrap coming out of here, and that's what we want. Constant scrap. I also copied the mine for my Nauvis build, or the mall for my Nauvis build over here. And some of the things obviously you can't make here. I'll have to work that out as I go, but basically it's most of the mall, and there's a little bit more room in here to put more in if I need to. I think there's some things I hadn't built yet. Like, well, I started building these lightning collectors because they're better. So maybe we'll upgrade those first. So I think that'll improve the power. The power is already awesome. If we look over the last 10 hours, you can see how it built up. Now it's been basically solid. Right, I haven't run out of power at all. And this is using the starter lightning rod. So I got 124 of those and 2.8K of the accumulators. And then, oh, that's interesting. I have one steam engine on the system. There must be a crossover here. So I put this thing on here so that it could basically jump in and help at the 50 mark. I set this to activate at 50%. And if the accumulator gets down to 50%, then go ahead and kick these in. It just slows down the discharge and kind of helps it last a little longer. It's probably not required at this point, but it's nice to have some way to burn off this solid fuel. You can see, that's another problem I gotta solve here. My overflow storage is overflowing, and I'm not sure exactly what to do here. Everything's getting processed now. But at some point, everything just kind of fills, right? You get so much junk in here. What do you do with it? I put this little burner stack in here just to process the ore that we get back from recycling. Because when you deconstruct cement, you get some ore back sometimes. So there's that. Kind of an added bonus, I guess. You get ore, you get steel plate directly from other things, but you get the ore itself from like cement. So, there's that. This is a better belt setup. It's copied this from the Vulcanus build. We've got our bot distribution thing in here, so it tries to balance the bots out. It finally balanced out at 982 bots. Put some counters in here so I can see how these tanks are doing just by looking. This is good. So this tank is filling up. I balanced all this stuff out so I can have this running constantly. There's the rocket fuel, which is another way to burn off solid fuel, right? Yeah. So everything's kind of basically built now. This is my deconstructor sorter. This stuff picks up any overflow and deconstructs at another level. Which is interesting because why is it picking up stuff in here? I don't know. Yeah, we're at the point that we're destroying copper because there's just no more room for it. We're destroying concrete because there's no more room for it. Yeah, a bunch of stuff like that. Even ice. Yeah. Well, at least in this box. Ice is full. And then we got plenty of ice up here. It's not like we're short on ice. I can probably turn off, I've turned off or dialed it way back, the ice maker on the ship, because it just doesn't need it anymore. It gets it all for scrap. So this planet is 99.9% now. In fact, it might be 100% now. We're not pulling in rocket silo parts or launch stuff. We're just picking up, yeah, science at this point. Yeah, it's really on its own at this point. There's this matter of cliff explosives and things of that nature, which I can't really deal with until I've done Gleba, right? Once I've done Gleba, then it's possible to get pretty much everything everywhere. Because then you can make coal. Anyway, I think to finish up this planet, I'm going to put up one more train station. I said, what did I say? Over here somewhere? Over here. 30 million. Yeah. And we'll probably run it in on these rails from the original train station. So let me find my tank. There it is. And let's go deal with that. It should have rails and all that. 20 of those? That might be enough. Grab 40. Should have plenty here. I'm making this stuff here now, so almost everything is now being made here. And that was kind of one of the other goals, was to eventually have this planet be like the solar system mall. Have it make everything. Oh yeah, I can't leave here till I get this. Man, screw the tank. I was using the tank a lot to get around, but now we have the mech armor. So I'm gonna pick that puppy up. Mech armor, let me put that on. And so I gotta take all the stuff off of it. Okay, take all the stuff off. I'm gonna swap the suit out. There we go. Not bad. What we can do is put one more legs in here, and maybe like 3 shields. Yeah, maybe I'll swap out batteries too. Alright, so we need 3 shields. There we go. And let's make the bigger batteries. We can turn those on like right here, I guess. I haven't done anything with quality yet, but should go there in the near future. Turn on those batteries there. Should be everything available on the planet here to make these. Yeah. I'm gonna need 2, 4, 6 of those. Okay. I'm gonna request 6 of those. When does that take? It takes 10 of those per... Wow, I don't have as many batteries as the supercapacitor as I thought. I wonder what's wrong with that. It's making them, keeping up with the science, or it was. I mean, barely. It's always low on batteries. But that's a function of scrap. And we've been using the scrap load. How are we doing? Batteries, battery production. I mean, we're producing 192 per minute. That's not nothing. But we're probably also using batteries. There. Oh, yeah, and we're consuming 198. So it's like, that's just on the threshold. Interesting. I mean, the only way to make that better is to maybe put another... because this isn't even getting hit now. Right? This is just stuff from the train at this point. And it's constantly busy. And in fact, it's full, right? The train can't even get out of here. So I guess we could upgrade these to quality 3s. Do we have any 3s? Let's see. Speed 3s. None. Now, I'm going to turn those on. Oh, I got 1s and 2s. What does a 3 take? Oh, it requires the tungsten. Okay. Yeah. So over here. Let's see. How much tungsten do we have available here? We got quite a bit. Okay, so let's send our ship out to go get 1,000 tungsten. So that fits. We'll do 1 stack or 1 rocket of tungsten. So that's 10 stacks. That's 500. 1 rocket of tungsten. Put this over. Let's do this just because. 1 rocket of plate. So that's 250. Might make it possible to do some stuff here, and then rocket of calcite. It's 10 stacks of that. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we'll say... I wish there was a way to group 2 things together. Like have big parentheses like this, that or that, and all of this, right? And I wish I could just group all these ores together and say one of the ores is correct. True. And this is also true. Then you can't do that. Like this is grouped, but you can't group ores. That said, I'm not sure we need this stuff down here anyway. So I'm just gonna live dangerous, see what happens. If any of these is true, then it goes. So if we don't have any miners, or we don't have any tungsten stuff, calcite. So if any of that's true, yeah, we got one more. We don't don't have any foundries. I don't have foundries or materials that come only from there. So that should be true right now. So the next time it tries to move, it'll go here instead. And we're currently parked at Nauvis. And it's waiting for cliff explosives. So what the hell? It shouldn't be that hard to get. Only have 5. Why? Because we don't have any grenades. Why don't we have grenades? Huh. Now why would I not be making grenades? That seems crazy. That seems real crazy. I guess I'm not. Okay. Let's go ahead and make some grenades. Oh, there's already one right here. Okay. Grenades it is. We have no coal. Really, we have coal here. Yeah, we do. I'm gonna say because we'll go ahead and swap. Everybody needs coal. There it is. All right. And there it goes. Now let's update that guy because. So now we're making explosives again. Take that one. Speed up this process a little bit. There it is. Okay, it sounds like our rocket just took off. Yeah, here comes our cliff explosives. Very good. Yeah, it's making more. All right. So that problem's solved. Now the interrupt should go off. Now, and send it over to Vulcanus. There we go, our temporary stop. Okay, so I've built my batteries. Let me put those on my bead. Take all these batteries off. All these batteries on. Now I gotta recharge, but that is like, those are 250 megajoules, and these were 100 megajoules, so I more than doubled my power. I like tripled it. Even more, yeah. That's nice. So now I got 1.5 gigajoules of storage capacity. Ain't bad, considering it's like a tenth, 5% of what this planet uses on my suit. Not bad. But I got the basic suit now. At some point we need to craft a quality suit, but that'll be up for a later thing. We'll see. Kind of more like an achievement. Alright, so back to what we were doing. Let me save this again, so we got a good starting point here, in case I decided to stop. Looks like we're good on this. Still using up our ores pretty quickly. I mean, I hesitate to expand this much more, but it's getting the job done, and it doesn't look like the overflow is really getting hit at this point. Except for like on cement and things. Boxes. Boxes. Because there's just not enough cement recyclers dedicated to cement recycling. I don't want to get rid of them. But on the other hand, I kind of got this problem where if I discard anything, it could get recycled, and I don't necessarily want that. Like these mining drills, I'd rather not recycle. What do these recycle into? Oh, you get tungsten out of them and stuff. Alright, yeah. Kind of a crappy way to get tungsten. But there they are. But everything backtracks to something, right? I mean, yeah. This would end up being, yeah. It all gets back to its original parts anyway, I guess. So I guess it's fine. Get that. Okay. I mean, it all works out, I suppose. I mean, that's the thing. If you've got this, if you can make everything here, and you don't need it anymore, you can dispose of it into this system, and it just plugs it back in as basic materials. And once you have too many basic materials, you just start destroying those materials. So you just got some level of that material. Kind of like you can have it all. Yeah. So yeah, this whole bank of things is just, it's agnostic. It doesn't care. It's just overflow. So I guess that's the way it should go, is if I discard it, it's trash, it goes in here and gets broken down. Because I'll just make more of the thing if I need it again. So I guess what I could do is convert all these to a different kind of box, then empty them out. Keep the things I want to keep somewhere. The drill. Keep the batteries. Those over so they're no longer part of the problem. I'll start pulling the stuff out and get rid of it. And that should cause them to get deposited into this other location so they need to be. So having the purple box on the output of all these basically says once you put something in here because it's discarded, and then okay, break it down, and whatever it got broke down to, now we got to get pushed somewhere immediately to the purple box, so it might end up in another yellow box. And so it just cycles itself through the system until it lands in one of these boxes, which is actually refreshing it. And this is where the actual storage for the various materials goes, right? Kind of the idea behind it. And this just feeds into that storage system. Anything extra goes in here. And meanwhile, 1% of all that becomes this ore that we need. And so these are coded directly to that ore. And we never break that down. So I'm going to expand on that. Because we want as much of that ore as we can get. That's the goal here. So that's been dealt with. Nothing even can go somewhere it's not supposed to go. It doesn't even have a chance to. So I guess at that point you might end up with there's no more storage issue, but I guess eventually it'll catch up because everything just breaks down. Some magical way. Yeah. Okay. Cleans up that mess. Very good. Alright, here's one that's been fully upgraded. I like that puppy go. So that is at 200%. 4 beacons. Oh, so we could even do beacons here to make this better. That'd be crazy, huh? It has power now. Power demand is going up. And our charge is going down, so let's do a 10-minute here. 1 hour. It's pulling us down more now. Maybe we want to expand our accumulator system a little bit, but we're getting lower on the pole here. And our engines are kicking on a little more. Definitely having an effect. And it's just going to get worse as that goes. So yeah, we'll go ahead and add some battery power. This is nice. I no longer have to like step on the oil. Alright, so we already filled that in pretty good. I guess we could add some more here. That'll work for the moment. Let's see. I guess we could put more here, wherever. Oh, well, we got the old train yard. We could do it here for sure. Okay. Clean this up. That was quite the upgrade. Yeah, we got big battery banks now. All over. What does that put our power level on? We're now at 21 gigajoules. That should be enough right there to hold us up for a while. There we go, fully charged. See how that does. Almost didn't make a full charge before the lightning was over. That's pretty crazy. Still curious where that guy is coming in at. And like there's one somewhere. There he is, right there. Well, I guess we could replace this with like regular poles. That'll solve that problem. But yeah, look at that. So we got basically, I think it hit 50, not quite 50%. That's good. As long as it only drops to around 50%, we're good. Okay. Still, we're using a lot of energy, but there's a shortage on the planet. You just have to collect it all when it's available. I think that's it, right? We've solved the problem with the overflow. We're upgrading all of these things to run a little faster. Or as fast as it should go here, I guess. They're now at a speed where it's using the stuff up before it even gets done. Before it can unload it. wonder if I shouldn't upgrade these to green belts, and if we're at that point, or blue belts not quite enough. Although it's still feeding it, so okay. Probably not required. But there's still options, right? We can still go faster. And I guess ultimate faster would be a second drop-off train station. That's also an option. I'm not sure that we need to. It seems fine. It's all good. Okay, so all that said, let's save it here, and then let's go grab that next train station, just so that we have, not that we need it at this moment, because we've, like I said, we got 29 million here and another 32 million here. They're constantly picking up, dropping off. But what we do need is a backup plan. So we're going to plug that in here. I'm not even going to bother to hit this little bit that was here, because it's only a little bit. 8K, 15K, 5K, yeah. We're going to go after the 30 mil. Let's get that done. Right there. This is a 30 mil island. And the question is, can we even get a train in here? Maybe. I'm sorry. They always put the biggest deposits on the smallest island, I swear. Legacy straight rail is in the way. No. Are you telling me if I make it not legacy, it's fine? Apparently. Okay. Don't know. Looks the same to me. Oh, that'll fit there. There we go. Now that might work. Do that. We'll get rid of this one. There we go. Okay, that could work. And then okay. Then we can put our miners down. Yeah. I think I like it. That should light up all the belts here. And add to here. It'll have to come in this way. Might even load somewhat fast. Okay. Then we got power everywhere. Let's get that in. Looks like all there is good stuff. But that's it. Okay, that's all there is. So that's enough. .1 gigajoule should be enough. Alright, let's run this train back. Alright, so we're going back to these points. So this is an in, and this is the out. Alright. And this needs to connect into here. Probably need to put one of these here. Let's bring it straight out here. Right off the coast. All the way here. Oh, this one's found out. Get reloaded here. Okay. Oh, I see why. Because it came back down. We don't want it to come back down. Okay. So we bring put a radar over there, so bring it down to here. Oh, my shields protect me from the lightning a little bit now. That's good. Okay, that should be built. Oh, almost. Load it again. Almost had enough. There we go. I mean, I'm tempted to do a third train, but now I'm like, I know what happens when one of these runs out. It jams the whole system. But meanwhile, we need somewhere for these trains to go in the event that there's nowhere else to go. I mean, this is the return area here, right? We could just put a turnaround in here. Say, okay, if you're coming back this way, hang out, turn around and stop, and then get back on and go to your station. Okay, maybe we do it down here. Back into this one, I guess. At which point, this could all be raised. Ooh, sorry. Back on there. Here you go. Wow, he stopped quick. That was funny. Let's get out of the way. Yeah, so I think we raise all that up. Just make this raise all the way down. There we go. Let me put some train stations down here. Put a vector here. And powerful around it here for no good reason. Okay. So we will call these we'll just call this drop off. Enter. There can only be one train at that station. They're both drop off waiting. Alright, so then we go to the trains themselves. And we get rid of this condition because we get fuel here. So we'll add an interrupt. Full conditions, but the station is full. Drop off. That station is full, and I want you to go to drop off. I think that's all there is to it, right? Oh. Okay, so it has to be... If the drop-off is full, and I'm not at the drop-off... So this only activates if the drop-off is full and I'm at the pickup. So if the drop-off is full and I'm at the scrap pickup, then no, and then I need a way for you to get in there from this side. Okay, so, right, that's the other part of this problem. So if you're over here, you'd be able to get into here. Alright, so then you can set all these back to normal priority. Make another train. We'll put right here, yeah. Oh, dude. What do you think you're doing? Wow. I'm sorry, dude. Alright, we'll make this color. Okay, let's see what happens there. Oof. Oh wait, because one goes under the other, right? So it's not a collision, right? Okay. I don't even need those things anymore. That one's going to go there. Alright, we got all 3 trains kind of going now. That works, actually. You could probably even put a 4th train on there at this point. Right, because they've got 1, 2, 3 stations to go to. If 2 of the stations died, though, you'd have to have 2 of them get off the track. So now you could have up to 2 stations die and still keep one active train, and they would just do that. Yeah. These both full. Yeah, these are both ready to unload too. That's awesome. There's always a train waiting to come in. Okay, this looks like it's working pretty good. I'm gonna leave it here for the moment. Go ahead and save this. And I'll verify while not recording that we're actually good to go. Oh, look at that. All the rockets are built. Very nice. Silos. Yeah. And we're just waiting on these modules to get completed, which we're getting down near those. Wow. We're at 224 meters right now. So I'm going to leave it right here for the moment, and good luck. I'll be back.
The recyclers are running full time, the new scrap mine's online, and the power grid hasn't collapsed once. Even the trains are starting to behave when they're not arguing over who gets to go to the mine first. Fulgora is finally steady. Next time, we scale it up. 4 trains, full interrupt scheduling, and a ship built to take us to Gleba. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 16.